What's up guys, welcome to this video. And basically I had just finished making the other video, and I'm still haven't even acclimated my fish yet for the unboxing. But in this video I kind of just wanted to show you my setup because somebody had a question about it. Other people who has actually come to the shop had questions about it as well. So I'm just going to go run through it. It's going to be a quick video, and I'm just going to show you how I have my Betta tanks set up. Now just keep in mind that these Betta tanks are not their forever home. So it is a bit small for them, but they're not in those little tiny plastic cups like the PetSmart and Petco big box stores have them in. So I'm just going to pick up the camera, move it over here, and I'm just going to explain to you how I have everything set up, how everything is running. All right, let's do this. All right guys, as you can see, this is actually my setup over here. And this setup here is just one row with a stack. And you can see there's a third row on top that I haven't built out yet. And then there's a row over here that I'm still working on. So this whole setup here is actually 3D printed parts. If you guys want the kit for splitting a 2.5 gallon tank, just let me know and I can put it on my Etsy store and then sell it to you guys. But anyways, just as a basic run through here, this should be a pretty quick video. I don't want to keep you guys. This here, well, let's go here. This is a 2.5 gallon PetSmart fish tank. It's the fish tank with the top like that and the holes. And that is very important for this setup. Here we have the same tank, which is a 2.5 gallon tank. Let me see if I can make this a little darker here. In this 2.5 gallon tank, there's a pump right here with a filter. This pump is turned upside down, and there's this tube that connects to that pump here. If you see this tube, this is an irrigation system. So I just put it off, what gardeners use to irrigate their garden, basically. This light is from Amazon. It's just a simple light that I laid on top of the tanks. On this side here, we have a moving bed. I love moving beds because you don't have to clean the moving bed. You don't have to worry about the moving bed. You can see whether or not you have bacteria on the moving bed. It's great. And then over here, I have a thermometer or a temperature sensor. Right now, it's running at close to 80 degrees. And in this here is a 3D printed canister. And if you look as close as you can, there's a blue light in there that indicates that the UVC light is turned on and operational. These are just media balls here that I used, and this is a pump. Now this pump is attached to this canister and grabs the water from this section. As you can see, there's a tube, blows it into this section here to keep the media moving, and then to the next one goes through the pump in the filter. Now from this tube here, there's a tube that runs in the back here, all the way across all the 2.5 gallon tanks that are put together. Each one of these tubes, let me bring this down here. Each one of these tubes is just using a siphon system. So fish tank 1, fish tank 2, siphon system to fish tank 3, siphon system to fish tank 4, so on and so forth. On the tube that we just talked about earlier, that's connected to that pump, again, it's an irrigation system. This drips, it's a drip system. This drips 0.5 gallon per hour. And each tank has a drip system as well as a manual system that I use if I have to manually open and close the valve for more or less water. So I use that when I do water changes, etc., etc. Each one of these tanks has its own plants for nitrates. Does it work? Yeah, it works pretty good. All this is all cycled. Okay, so this whole line here is all cycled. Okay, so we have somewhat of a sump here, 2.5 gallon. We have another sump here, 2.5 gallon, set up the same exact way for the row on top. So the way these tanks are split up is this is a 3D printed divider, and then this portion up here just holds the divider in place so it doesn't move around and all that. I mean, it's not in solid, but it's the best you can probably get. Now down here there's gravel, again, for the beneficial bacteria to grow. So that's pretty much it. It goes all the way to this end over here, and basically what happens is water drips into this, so on and so forth. And as the water builds up, it all ends up into this tank over here because everything's overflowing and it's using the siphon system or the physics to move the water all the way into here, and then the water gets pumped back out into every single one of the tanks here. So the system is pretty good. This 2.5 gallon tanks, so you get about 1.25 gallon for each fish, which again is way more than any of the big box pet stores, which is, you know, a little tiny cup, probably about that big, with water about that much. How often do I change the water in here? Every other day, I change 75% of the water. Even if they're all cycled, you know, I still change the water just because most of this fish here is also imported. Not all, but a lot of it. And then of course down here, we have my breeders and then the babies. I have tanks here that are for breeding and a camera so I can keep an eye on them. And then up here we have tanks getting ready. So I 3D print this. This is the divider here. Okay, so this divider just goes in here. This goes on top of the divider, and then in this hole up here, there's holes so these tubes can go in to help with the siphon. The reason why I have 2 tubes, 6 millimeters each, so that's about 1/2 inch. But more importantly, it's for redundancy. So if one fails, the other one will pick up. What can fail? You know, something like a snail or something goes in. I could put a screen under it. I thought of that, but didn't do it because screens get clogged. Now, tomorrow, I have a shipment coming in with more hose, because hose is actually kind of expensive, so I had to wait a little while. But I'm gonna have one hose from this sump go all the way to the end of this tank here, so that's also going to be redundant. So what that means is, if any one of these tanks do get clogged from the siphon point over here, or the siphon stops working because there's water or whatever that goes in, I never had a problem though, but if that ever happened, we'll have redundant siphon to come all the way back to the sump at 6 millimeter, not 1/2 inch, but it's still better than nothing. So that's pretty much the way this is all set up. And this is how I house all my bettas and get ready for them for sale. If you're interested, you can check out my Instagram. My Instagram will be in the description of this video. And then I post all the fish and everything on my Instagram. You can hit me up with a DM or whatever. Oh, that was pretty cool. This female over here just laid an egg and she ate it. That was kind of funny. See if I can zoom in there. Yeah, she's looking for the egg that she just dropped. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you can subscribe, like, and share, that would be awesome. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. One last time. See you guys later. Peace.